Welcome back. In March 2024, all livestock sectors experienced an increase in marketing activities compared to both the previous month and March of the previous year. A quarterly analysis reveals an increase in livestock marketing activities to 318,000 in the first quarter of 2024 compared to 259,000 activities in the same period for 2023. To talk about the significant increase in the livestock sectors, I'm joined by the Public Relations Officer at Agribank, Mr. Philemon Nangonya. So good evening and welcome.
Thank you. Good evening.
Thank you so much for being here. Perhaps to start with, you can provide an overview of the key findings and highlights from the Livestock Marketing Activities Report for the year 2023-2024.
Yes, thank you very much. From time to time, Agribank, as a key player in the agriculture sector, we do conduct analysis to understand various developments around the key areas within the sector. And among those may vary from livestock marketed, crop production, as well as, the rainfall figures. We looked at the first quarter of 2024, and we have noted that the livestock marketed has actually increased, and this increase is mainly moved by the two-digit growth in terms of the livestock and also small stock sector. So we have noted that farmers are, anticipating the drought situation that is likely to hit us, or probably it's not an anticipation anymore. We are actually yes. So we are already probably in it already, and that is why we see that much of the figures that we are seeing are coming from the live exports, whereby I think if you look at the cattle, for instance, live cattle exports, it grew by 47%, as opposed to also, and if you look at the small stock, which is mainly sheep, it's around 32%. That led to an increase in the livestock marketed during the quarter. Yeah.
At the mention of expecting drought, climate risk poses a formidable challenge when it comes to agriculture, especially in regions dependent on rain-fed cultivation, impacting, of course, the livelihoods of millions of people. Talk to us about some of these challenges, facing the sector despite the growth that's been recorded.
Yes, we should not forget that the growth that is recorded in terms of the livestock marketed is mainly coming from the position of farmers trying to destock. However, the challenge that is leading to this still persists. The erratic rainfall that we received during the season, it's really contributing to this. And what we are saying is there are also some challenges, of course, such as maybe farmers not adopting the, climate resilient farming practices, because those will then assist in terms of the challenge that we have at hand. We are then calling on farmers to sort of start adopting this climate resilient farming practices, such as, water conservation, and also looking at crop rotation or diversification, so that you do not just concentrate in one particular enterprise, but you also look at other enterprises. If you are in livestock, for instance, don't just concentrate in livestock production, but you may also want to venture into biomass, or you can look at the issue of you in engaging in crop production or things of that nature.
Philemon, how did these marketing activities impact Namibia's overall livestock industry and its stakeholders, of course, including farmers and the consumer?
Yes. generally, if you look at it to the sector, when you see farmers destocking, you will see that the rangeland will also then improve because they are now removing pressure or reducing pressure on the rangeland where their livestock grazes. That on its own speaks to them to be able to manage the livestock that will remain because of the drought that is imminent or already we are in it. Also, when you see such kind of an increase in marketing, it also speaks to farmers getting some sort of income to be able to manage what is remaining in terms of the farming activities so that they go through the challenge or the drought period that we are facing. So, and to the sector, of course, when it comes to those that have commitments, especially with Agribank, they are also in a position to be able to service or honor their commitments with their financiers. Yeah.
What are the prospects looking like going ahead?
Yeah, the situation is still dire. You will agree with me that we are still in this situation, and it requires at least both of the stakeholders in the industry to come up with some of the interventions. So Namibia, as we are going forward, we are faced with an escalating drought situation, and that will really affect all farmers from all sorts, including commercial and communal. So the situation is not good at all going forward.
Right. Philemon, are there any future plans or perhaps initiatives that you can talk to us about in place to sustain or either further enhance the momentum of livestock marketing activities in coming years? And how is Agribank set to support these?
So as Agribank, we will continue with our interventions in terms of capacitating farmers through our agri-advisory services, where we educate farmers to better manage their farming activities on livestock production and also on other areas. Because this is an intervention that we do countrywide, where we have technical advisors educating farmers to say, look, we are faced with this particular situation, or whenever you are into this situation, please try to destock, sell your livestock. Gone are the days where you keep a large number of livestock for status purposes. So we have such kind of interventions, free for that matter, where even our mentors go from region to region, training farmers to at least adopt some of these climate resilient farming practices. We are also encouraging farmers to diversify, because it is through diversification that you also reduce your risk in terms of your concentration just in one enterprise, so that at least whenever this particular enterprise is faced by climate change effects, at least the other is able to carry your farming activities. So those are some of the interventions as Agribank will continue pumping out in the market to ensure that at least our farmers do understand what needs to be happening.
Fantastic. Well, Mr. Philemon Nagwanya, thank you so much for your time this evening. Thank you for joining us here on the Daily Roundup.
Thank you very much.
Well, there you have it. Our conversations continue here on the Daily Roundup with Nina. We'll be right back after this brief break.